Hey there everyone, it's CandyEvie, and today I'm going to be doing something more of a tutorial style video. I'm going to be showing you how to tell the difference between real and fake Pokemon games for the Game Boy Advance. Fakes have been around for a long time, but they've actually changed a little more recently. So I thought that I would make an updated video to help others tell the difference between the real and fake games. The game that I am going to be using for this example will be Pokemon Sapphire. I have 2 fakes and 1 real one, so let's see if you can see which one is real. Okay, so here is number 1. Here is number 2. And here is number 3. Okay, so if you guessed number 2, then you were absolutely correct because, let's just have a look, see? This is the real game. Now let's go over fake number 1. This is what I would like to call a classic fake game. Fakes like these have existed for a very long time. I acquired this game through my sister, as our parents bought it for her when we were both little, not knowing it was a fake. I would say that this fake is extremely obvious, but I will go over the differences. The first is the color of the cartridge. If you have a look at this real Sapphire, like so, then you will see that it is blue in color. Every single main series Pokemon game for the Game Boy Advance has a colored cartridge. This includes Sapphire, Ruby, Fire Red and Leaf Green, and of course Emerald. There are no exceptions. Spin-offs such as the Mystery Dungeon series have a grey cartridge, but that is it. If you own a main series Pokemon game for the Game Boy Advance that is a grey cartridge, then it is definitely fake. Let's have a closer look at the cartridge's sticker. To begin, it's not even stuck onto the cartridge properly. Great start. As we see with the real Sapphire, the sticker is holographic. But on the fake, it's very glossy and it's not even slightly holographic. They've done a very bad job of replicating the ocean's pattern on the real cartridge as well. The Pokémon logo on the cartridge is also a lot larger than that of the real Sapphire. As you can see right here, a real cartridge has a small indentation in the center of the sticker. If your cartridge does not have one of these indentations, such as this one, then it's likely that it's a fake. The next set of features, I will be having to use my Pokemon Mystery Dungeon cartridge, as they're features that are specific to American cartridges, and of course, I am British, so my cartridge is European, as you can see there, the CE. Yeah, this Mystery Dungeon is completely legitimate, and it has all the features that we need to compare, so let's take a look. First up is the ERSB rating. This is something that is specific to US cartridges, so that is why I was not able to use my European Sapphire. If we look at the ERSB rating on this cartridge, you can see that it is very crisp and clear and easy to make out. However, on the fake, if we have a little look here, it is much larger, blurry, and it's harder to make out the text. On a European Sapphire version, as you can see right here, the seal of quality is in a circle. On American cartridges, it is an oval, as you can see right here. It is gold in colour, it's very, very easy to make out. But if we have a look at the seal of quality on the fake Sapphire, it's more brown in colour and it's really blurry, it's really difficult to read. From here, let's compare the grey cartridge with just another Game Boy cartridge. I'm of course using one of my favourite Game Boy games, Spyro Adventure. You can't really tell from, well, this webcam, it doesn't really do it justice, but the colour is a lot darker than the colour that you would usually see used on the official Game Boy Advance cartridges. And the plastic is a lot bulkier as well, if you have a feel of it. And it's just a lot bulkier. The back of a real cartridge should say, if you can have a little read of that right there, Nintendo Model No AGB002 Pat penned, made in Japan. This is true for Pokemon and regular GBA games alike. And now, the fake reads Nintendo! Nintendo! Okay, Model No AGB002. Not only has the fake missed a line, but it has misspelled the company that it's trying to rip off. Well done! And finally, if you have a little look at the indentation on the back of the cartridge, it is smaller than what you would see on a real cartridge. Bigger, smaller. Whew. Now that's out of the way, I will move on to fake number 2. This seems to be one of a new breed of fakes. I thought that fake cartridges were usually grey in colour, like this one, or at least have very obvious features to set them apart from real cartridges, so I ended up buying this. When it arrived, I had a sinking feeling that it was fake, and well, it is. This new breed of fake cartridges seems to have only popped up within the more recent years, and unfortunately, they're more convincing at first glance. But they are fake, and hopefully I will be able to tell you how to avoid these new fakes. First off, we have the colour of the cartridge. Unlike number 1, this cartridge is actually coloured, but I think it's more of a purplish blue than the Sapphire that we have right here. You can see the difference there. The plastic is also much cheaper than that of the original Sapphire. If you kind of bend it about, it just feels really cheap. Obviously, it'll be hard to put that across because it's in a video, but when you have this in your hands, it just feels like it could snap apart at any moment. The label is holographic, but it's one consistent holographic instead of the patterns that we see on the real cartridge, such as there. You can see there are little oceany patterns on the real one, but on the fake one, it's just one consistent holographic. There isn't really any variation to it. Another problem that we have is that the Pokemon logo is very off. You can barely see the outer blue of the text, but on the real cartridge, it's very easy to see. You can see the outer blue on the text, but on this cartridge, it kind of almost blends in with the background. Not great. I'm again going to be comparing this with my US Mystery Dungeon cartridge so that we can compare the features specific to the US games. If you have a little look here, the ERSB logo is very poorly done. It's a lot thinner than that of the real one, if you have a little look there, and the text is just very difficult to make out. As for the seal of approval, there was text right here, but it's of such low quality that it has completely disappeared. This would not happen with a real cartridge. The most telling feature to me is the Nintendo logo right here. If you look at the font, it is not that of the original Nintendo logo. All of the more recent convincing fakes that I have seen have this dodgy text, so it's safe to assume that they're made by the same group of people. It's not just Sapphire either. I see fakes like this for all of the main series GBA Pokemon games, so you need to be cautious. Okay, I'm now done with the US specific features, but I'll go back to comparing with my Sapphire. If we have a little look at the back right here, the text is correct, but it's horribly off. The indentation on the back is also much smaller than that of the official Sapphire. A little look there, bigger, smaller, same as the first fake. Yeah. And this may be something that only I have noticed, but the screw that holds the cartridge together, if you would have a little look there, that would be where it would go. Yeah, it's different on the fake one. On a legitimate cartridge, the screw that would be used would be a tri-wing with a flat bottom. On this fake, however, it was a tri-wing with a sharp bottom. This is very bad because if you are trying to take the screw in and out and it has a sharp bottom, then it will dig into the plastic, potentially causing damage. As you can see, this happened when I took the fake Sapphire apart, as there's a little crack there and there. I don't know if you can pick it up on the webcam, but yeah. There are cracks there, and this happened because it was a tri-wing with a sharp end. It damages the cartridge. These fakes, they just aren't made to be durable, so it's not really any wonder that something like this is in place. And well, that brings us on to the hardware of the game! Yeah, if you take a peep under the original Sapphire, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but I'm not sure. But in any case, it should say C Nintendo 2002 AGB E0501. On the fake, it reads I Nintendo AGB E0501. The text is correct, but again, the font is very, very off. And on the official ones, they don't have this circle around the Nintendo text. It's just the Nintendo font. That is it. Yeah. But looking at the actual hardware, this is how the hardware for an official Sapphire should look. I'm going to put a little picture up right there. Yep, somewhere there. And, yeah, it doesn't look like that at all, does it? There should also be an internal battery around here, and it's just not present. That is all I have in regard to the cartridges, but I will show you a way to distinguish fake cartridges from real ones without having to analyze them like this at all. Okay, so this next part is really easy. As you can see, I have my Pokemon Pearl version in my DS right now. And if I turn the light on and move it back a little bit, you'll be able to see that I am also using my Pokemon Sapphire version in the GBA slots. Next step, move forward. Okay. You'll be able to see that little option right there, migrate from Sapphire. That is an indicator that your game is completely legitimate. That would not pop up if it was fake. So I will be putting in the fake Sapphires and seeing if that message pops up. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, so I'm back and I'm on my Pearl version again. Light out. That is my fake Sapphire, the second one that I got. The first one wouldn't even fit into the DS, which is quite the indicator of its quality. But as you can see, there is absolutely no migrate from Sapphire option. It's a fake. So yeah, if you put your GBA game in and you look at the settings on Sinnoh, this also works for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so any 4th generation game, once you have access to PAL Park, you just look in your little menu, and if the option is there, then hey, you've got yourself a legitimate game. But if it's not there, that is almost a guarantee that it's fake. So yeah, that's it for this part. And there you have it. That is my guide on how to distinguish fake Pokemon Game Boy Advance games from real ones. There are many more fakes out there than the ones I have shown today, but if you follow my tips, then you should be able to avoid fake games more easily. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!